All right, so I shouldn't be making this video. Now I know what you're thinking, oh, good marketing trick, Dylan, but I'm serious. And the reason I'm serious is because in this video, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I build the funnels and do all the marketing for the biggest agency client that I have. I'm gonna take you guys into my own ClickFunnels account and walk you through each and every step that I took in order to build out the new funnel that I have built for them, along with the behind the scenes thought process. Why I put that text there, why I put this button there, why I use this call to action instead of that call to action, so you can take all the lessons that you learn in this video, apply it to either your own business or your client's business, and get exceptional results for them so you can get better case studies and ultimately you can make more money. Now, as you can see here, this is the ads manager account here, and we're averaging a $133-ish, $133 cost per book call Canadian, which is about $100 US for a $139,000 offer. This offer is $139,000 and we say the price in the ad. But despite that, we're able to get $100 Canadian or $100 US cost per book call because of how we set up this funnel. So yesterday, I did a time lapse of me building this entire funnel. It took me 1 hour and 7 minutes to build it from scratch. And now I'm going to play that and kind of like live react and share with you guys what I was thinking and why I decided to do what I do while I was building this funnel, so you can see behind the scenes as to how we're able to do this kind of marketing for what could be easily perceived as a rather boring company. All right, so first thing here, obviously log into my ClickFunnels account and then heading over to the client's funnel. The first thing I do here is I head over to create funnel, create a new funnel from scratch. I'm just making the funnel here. Now, I don't like to use any of ClickFunnels templates and whatnot. I like to just create my funnels from scratch so I have ultimate control and ultimate design flexibility when it comes to how I want this to look. So in regards to the name, this name and this URL is obviously going to be publicly facing. Obviously, not a ton of people are going to see it, but some will. So with that being said, I made sure that the name here hits on the actual benefit of working with Nomad Microhomes. Now, as we get into the funnel, the first thing that I go in and I do is I want to make a call out section where I'm essentially flagging down the people who this is for. So I like to call out new and experienced property investors because one of the unique angles and revolutionary changes that we made to this business to get the results that we've been able to get for it is we identified that out of all the customers that they had in the last year, 85% of people that bought a Nomad microhome did it to put it into their backyard or to put it into a property that they already own to then rent it out for additional income. So one of the problems that we had when I first started working with this company is they were marketing, hey, buy a microhome to live in it. And the customer was having to come to their own conclusion of like, oh, I don't really want to live in it, but I think I could rent this out. So instead of making the customer have to come to that own conclusion, we're going to go straight and target what they want by calling them out. And I like to do new and experienced property investors because that's the honest truth with this opportunity here, right? With the way that the Nomad microhome works and whatnot, you could either be an experienced property investor who wants to buy more units, or you could be a new property investor who wants to have their first unit where they can start making passive rental income from. Now, the next thing that you'll see me do here is go through a little bit of design. So the first thing that I do is I pull up the Nomad Cube website, and then I load it into a hex finder to make sure that I can make sure that all of the colors that I use in this funnel are in alignment with all the branding colors that Nomad already has in place. Now that I'm back in the funnel and I have the hex finders, all I do here is I come in and I start placing those colors into the funnel so we can make sure that everything is in alignment from ad to brand to website and everything seems legit in a way. So now the next thing that I'm going to do, which is a common thing that I like doing, is putting the call out, adding a little bit of shadow to it, rounding the corners, bolding some of the text, adding a little icon to it to make it look pretty. Because even though this is a very simple design and a very black and white landing page, I do want to make sure that the design looks really good, because we're selling $100,000 offer, right? And so when you're selling offers of that price, you need to make sure that everything is dialed from head to toe. And in that case, right, if you have a bad design or a poorly designed website, are people going to really want to send $100,000 to somebody who clearly doesn't have the ability to design a good funnel? Well, probably not. So that's why I'm making sure to go here and putting in good designs, putting in good colors to make sure that it really looks professional from the get-go. So there you see it. There's my call out here. As you can see, I added a little icon there. Attention, new and experienced property investors. Hit the row, added a background to the row, rounded all the corners, and then added a little shadow so it stands out, it looks clean, and it calls out my ideal target audience on this funnel. Now I'm going in to add the headline. So the first thing that we did actually earlier before making this funnel is we changed the offer that we are going to run for this client. And now what we wanted to do is we essentially wanted to guarantee the dream outcome that people had when they wanted to buy a Nomad, right? So in the past, we'd run offers such as, get a $10,000 discount or reserve your spot today. There's all those kind of stuff. What we instead is we decided to scratch all of that. And instead, what we're doing is that we'll guarantee you a cash flowing rental property in less than 200 days, or we'll pay the market monthly rental rate until it's done. Because in this way, we can associate the guarantee that we're offering with the actual dream outcome. And because of Nomad's proprietary technology, it's 100% possible and 100% feasible for us to be able to pull off. So this is an example of making a really, really, really strong guarantee that's really easy to deliver on, right? And fundamentally, that's like the easiest way to make a whole lot of money whenever you're marketing something online. Find a really, really good big dream outcome that you can guarantee that also has a really easy means of fulfilling on that. And then it's pretty easy to run ad campaigns through the roof and make a whole bunch of money with them. So now that I have the headline in there, I wanted to go in and change the font to make it look even cleaner. So this isn't the final font that I end up using, but at this point, I then go and underline some of the key benefits and keywords that I want to make sure that people instantly click, like it instantly, when they land on this landing page, they instantly see these keywords, like it just registers in their mind instantly by underlining them. So in this case, I chose the words cash flowing in less than 200 days, or we'll pay you, right? Like those are like the three key benefits, the three key standout things that I want to make sure that as soon as people land on this page, they instantly register it, they instantly see it. That's why I underlined those keywords on this headline here. Then I went in here and I added a subheader, and the frame of the subheader that I used was using the new Nomad home technology property investors are raving about in 2024. Right, to add a little bit of social proof, to add a little bit of urgency, scarcity, and to overall increase the perception of value that the headline has. So now the next part is the call to action button. And I thought of a couple ideas here, but essentially whenever we're making our call to action buttons, we want to make it have this push button effect where people are like, push and they get something in return. Obviously, that's not happened. The only thing that's going to happen is that they're going to go to the next step. But we want to associate them pushing this button and going to the next step with moving one step closer to their dream outcome. So instead of book a call or apply now, because they're not really interested in booking a call or applying now, they're interested in getting that dream outcome. I took a little bit to think about it, but then I eventually came up with, yes, I want guaranteed rental income, because people see that, it's like, yes, like click, yes, I do want guaranteed rental income. And that's why I went with this effect. Then I go into the button styles and making sure that the button looks clean and everything is on brand with the funnel from the beginning. So I come over to here, I add a little bit of a gradient, make it that green style. And then I go in and I play with the fonts. Now, although the funnel was good, I wasn't 100% happy with it. So I went through and I uploaded a new font into this ClickFunnels account. Just thought it was a little bit more cleaner. Because we're selling a very high ticket product, I do want to make sure that all the text and the font and the design looks very clean and very professional, to make sure that whenever somebody lands on one of these pages, they're like, okay, this is professional, and it passes the eyeball test, which is a very important test to pass when you're selling a high ticket product online. And here's me just adjusting the fonts once again with the new gradient style to make it all look clean, using the Avenir Next as the headline font and intertight and interregular for the subheaders and paragraph fonts. Adding a little bit of a shadow to it and a corner there to, again, make sure it looks clean, make sure it looks professional. And here we go. So the next part that I want to include on this landing page is to add in a bunch of social proof. So essentially what I did is I just went to their main website and I found all the news articles and places that they've been featured in. And I just took a whole bunch of screenshots from that main site and then put them onto the landing page here. Now that I have the as featured in, just adding a few little design things, such as changing the color of the font to make everything look super clean as I add it to this landing page here. Now the next thing that I wanted to do was I wanted to add a little bit more social proof through adding images to this landing page. Now I didn't want it to put it above the call to action button because I want that very front and center, but I decided to add 3 images below it of people that have purchased a Nomad and are happy with it here. Once I've done that, I use the square ratio and the cover fit to make sure that all 3 images look the exact same, even though that they were just different aspect ratios. And then what I ended up doing here is adding some corners only on some of them to give it a unique, professional, modern design on this landing page. And there we go. All right, so now that I have the desktop version done, I have to go and edit the mobile version. So the first thing that I have to do is adjust all the fonts and everything to make sure it looks good on mobile. And then with the button here, what I had to do was, because there was too much text for it to fit right on the mobile version, I actually had to create a second button here and adjust it to mobile version. So I said, yes, I want rental, $, gets the same point across and looks a lot more cleaner on the mobile version. So it doesn't have to be, super thick and look kind of weird from a design perspective. Now the next thing is, obviously, because of the way the as featured in was formatted on desktop, I had to go and fix that. So as you can see, what I'm going to do here is I actually jump into Canva and make a little one image of all the different featured in and design that properly in here. So I just come onto Canva here, I come to a Facebook banner profile, and then I add in all of the different logos in here, and I spend some time adjusting it to make sure it looks all clean. Then I export that and add it to the landing page and make it mobile view only. So I make this view mobile only, and then I make the regular ones desktop only view. So when you view this on the desktop, the as featured in looks like it just did there, and then when you view it on the mobile, it doesn't show that, it just shows this image instead. And the next thing is I'm putting the images above the as featured in. I just think that's a more compelling thing to stick out when you land on this landing page. And then putting the as featured in below that, adjusting the padding and the margins to make sure all looks good. And also I had to adjust this on the mobile page. As you can see here, what I did instead was, because these images take up so much space and I want to make sure that people do see the as featured in, I put the as featured in above it so it shows it right there and people can instantly see that. And then they see that there is images, so they can scroll through the images if they want. Now just adjusting the paddings and the margins to make sure everything looks clean. And we're getting near to the end of this opt-in page development. The only fast thing I'm doing is I'm adding a button down near the bottom, and then cleaning up to adding a little bit of white space so it doesn't just end abruptly when you're viewing it on desktop or mobile. Now there is a little typo here. After I was finished this video, I went and fixed that typo. So always make sure that you've double checked and everything's spelt rightly and there's no typos, because that could kill conversion rates as well. Now going into the pop-up. So when you click on this when you click on this button, a pop-up will come up. And I wanted to go through and really increase the value of actually entering your information and decrease any fears and whatnot in that process as well. So pay attention to the copy that I use as I'm building this pop-up section here. So the headline is going to be start earning rental income in less than 200 days. And then enter your details to start earning rental income in less than 200 days, making the padding, getting rid of the margins and stuff to make it all look clean. Start earning guaranteed rental income in less than 200 days, changed it to. Then I'm saying that your info is just to reserve a temporary spot and will remain 100% confidential. to decrease any fears or anything like that related to entering information, and also justifying why they need to enter the information as well. Because you'll see at the end of this, I add a little bit of urgency and scarcity to this. Now just going through and editing the input fields to, again, make them look clean and make sure that they align with all the rest of the design in the funnel. Using the right fonts, making sure everything is in alignment. Now, putting the questions in first person has been proven to get higher conversion rates. So that is what I'm doing here. Instead of just saying my email, or what is your email? My email is, my phone number is, leads to a higher conversion rate. And then framing the button as enter to the next step to start earning guaranteed rental income. Then positioning the button as answering the question that is going to be lingering in their heads at this point, which is, see if this will work for me, right? Because people are going to land on this page. They're going to be, wow, that's a pretty crazy offer. That's something that I would definitely want. I don't know if this will work for me. Okay, well, enter your name, email, phone number, temporarily hold a spot, remain 100% confidential, and you can see if this will work for you. That is how you get good conversion rates on your opt-in pages. Now just adjusting this on mobile to make sure it looks good. And now last thing here, adding a little bit of text to increase urgency. Now configuring the funnel to make sure any buttons go to open the pop-up. And we're getting to the end of this funnel build. So as you can see here, this is the final funnel. We'll build you a cash flowing rental property in less than 200 days, or we'll pay you the market monthly rental income until it's done, using the new Nomad technology property investors are raving about in 2024. Yes, I want guaranteed income. You click on that. There's social proof. You click on that. Enter your details to start earning guaranteed rental income in less than 200 days. Your info is just to temporarily hold a spot, remains 100% confidential. Name, email, phone number. We only have 87 units available. See if this will work for me, and then that will send people to the book a call page. Now on the book a call page, I just use a funnel page that I already had, which was a very, very simple one. It's essentially you're one step away from learning how Nomad can turn your property into cash flowing rental income quickly without breaking the bank or undergoing construction. Just loading that in, and as you can see that here, there's nothing to really change, just some testimonials, more testimonials here on the book a call page, and then the call and the Go High Level calendar embedded into this form up here. All right, so that was everything that I did behind the scenes from a design perspective, from a copy perspective, from a social proof perspective, from adding images to everything to build the high converting funnels that I build both for my own company and for my clients' company. So hope this is probably a type of video that you've never seen before. I haven't seen anybody online that goes through and does live breakdowns, live builds of funnels, and kind of thinks out loud to educate you guys on how the elite marketers actually build their funnels behind the scenes that convert cold traffic into high ticket deals. So hope you guys got value out of this video. Appreciate the hell out of you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions about this, just leave a comment below. I'll see you guys in the next one.